Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm a 6-foot tall woman and I live in Manhattan, and I make videos about what my life is like being a 6-foot tall woman who lives here in Manhattan. I will say that I like being a tall woman, but there is a high density of psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists that live in Manhattan. They're all over New York, but I feel that they're concentrated in Manhattan. It's just some really mean-spirited, nasty people that live here. And if something about you makes them feel threatened or stand out from the crowd, people will just randomly target you. There's a lot of people out there that wish they were taller, and they tend to use tall women as a punching bag. I've had people here in the city in Manhattan get nasty with me for months and even years, and this is classmates and coworkers. And then later on, pull me to the side and admit that they always wanted to be tall, and that's happened multiple times. So it's not like I'm imagining it. I've had people admit that they were jealous after being nasty to me for years. So clearly, I'm not imagining it if people are admitting it. Lately, it's just been strangers. For like the past maybe 5 to 7 years, random people that I don't even know have been getting more so passive aggressive and petty towards me unprovoked. But again, they have Napoleon complex. They wish that they were tall. People tend to be jealous of tall women. People who say we're imagining it, this is a non-issue. It is an issue. People that are angry that they're not tall tend to take out their anger on tall women unprovoked, as if it's our fault that your parents didn't pick somebody taller. I'm not going to be quiet about it because people tend to use us as a punching bag. So why would I be quiet about that? So I want to describe to you how specifically little angry men like to pick fights with tall women. I'm not talking about short men in general. I'm only talking about shorter men that have Napoleon complex, that lash out at tall women, that are aggressive towards tall women. Not all short men have little man syndrome. Not all short men have Napoleon complex. Like my shorter male coworkers that are on my team at work, they're all very nice. My doctors and my dentists are all very nice. There's a few that live in my neighborhood that I know, they're all very nice. But I'm only talking about the ones that do have that jealousy, insecurity issue. Like they tend to be jealous of tall men. They resent tall men. Sometimes they'll lash out at tall men unprovoked. And by extension, that resentment also gets extended to tall men's offspring. And it's obvious that they're the offspring of a tall man. You see what I'm saying? So the demographic who picks fights with me more than any other demographic, I know other tall people have had this experience too, is men who are exactly 5'9". They tend to lash out at tall people more than everybody else. 5'9" is average height, and it's because they got close to being tall. They got close to being tall while having the proportions of short men. That's what it is. And the fact that their stature looks compressed is more noticeable when they have dad bod, and like when they're overweight and out of shape. It does make you look more compressed. It is what it is. So men who are 5'9" get nasty with tall women unprovoked more than any other demographic. I think tall men have had the same experience. Me as an individual, that's who lashes out at me more than everybody else. Men who are 5'9", they're usually white, sometimes black, rarely Asian or Latino, but occasionally, but rarely. Rarely does anybody who's 5'10" or taller get nasty with me unprovoked. Like men and women, that rarely happens. The only time a man or a woman who's 5'10" or taller will get nasty with me unprovoked is when their 5'9" or shorter friend or significant other encourages them to. That is the only time a taller person will get nasty with me. And this is why I hate people with Napoleon complex. I cannot stand you. I'm glad that I have the height that you wish you had. You wish it were you. Anyways, so here's some of the things that the little angry men do to pick fights with tall women. They walk over to me and they glare at me. Like they're in a trance. They walk over to me and they stare at me like they're in a trance. They'll walk over to me and stand inappropriately close to me and be glaring at me out the corner of their eye. They'll walk over to me and stand inappropriately close to me and be smirking at me out the corner of their eye. They'll walk over to me and stand and just be watching me out the corner of their eye. I've had them try to skip me multiple times. Anytime I'm standing in line somewhere and I'm playing on my phone, one of those little Napoleon gremlin goblins will try to skip me. That's happened several times. I've had them purposely walk past me just to make little insults under their breath as they're walking past me. I've had a few short women do that too, because, people with Napoleon complex, they see the long legs and the long torso and you wish it were you. Bottom line, you wish it were you. I've had them, oh, every time they walk past me, if it's like a group of them, if there's at least two of them, they immediately turn to their friend and say something under their breath, and they'll both look at me and smile, or they'll go like this. And they do that constantly. Again, you wish that you were tall. You wish it were you. 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 They do that all the time. I've had them follow me around airports. I've had them follow me around the gym. I've had them follow me around grocery stores, just staring at me, glaring at me, watching me. And you can see them seething, like you can see them absolutely seething because they're jealous. Shorter men approach tall women. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone else and they'll like walk over and be a few feet away from me, and then they'll just like randomly make passive aggressive comments as a means of interjecting in my conversation, or they'll say something like, I don't know, to belittle me or put me down or whatever. Shorter men get nasty with tall women for two specific reasons. Either they want our height or they want sexual access to us. I'm going to be honest. Men with Napoleon complex, a lot of them deeply wish that a tall woman desired them the same way that women desire men that are taller than them. And that's never going to happen to you. And it makes me happy knowing that that fantasy that a lot of you have is never going to be reality. It genuinely makes me smile because I'm used to you all going out of your way to be evil to tall women when we did not do anything to you. I'm glad that so many of you dream about tall women and none of us dream about you. None of us dream about you. None of us stare at you. None of us constantly watch your every move. None of us try to be close to you. None of us try to get your attention. None of us ask other people about you. We don't just walk over to you and hover around you and stand inappropriately close to you and watch you out the corner of our eye. We don't do any of that. Little angry men do all of that crap towards tall women. None of that happens the other way around. Who's showing interest in who? Who is not showing interest in who? And they love telling that lie that tall women want their attention. And people are dumb enough to believe that lie. When you can clearly see, anytime you're around a tall woman and a short man, you will see him walk over to her and just be watching her and standing inappropriately close to her. You'll see him running over to her and just randomly jump in her conversation. You won't see it happen the other way around. It doesn't happen the other way around. It does not. But because they radically outnumber us, the little angry man propaganda gets pushed to the front of the line, and the logical comments that tall women make totally get drowned out because we're such a small percentage of the population. Every woman wants to be with a guy who's taller than her. Like, no woman is sad because a guy who's shorter than her won't give her a chance. No woman feels that way. No woman feels that way. But like I said, they say things about us that are not true all the time, and they radically outnumber us. So their false, delusional, narcissistic Napoleon narrative always gets pushed to the front. And us being logical and rational, well, most women want to be with men that are taller than them. It's very silly to think otherwise. Our narrative gets pushed to the back. So anyways, those are some of the things that little angry men do to pick fights with tall women. I mean, they're so insufferable. I despise men with Napoleon complex. You people are disgusting. I despise you. I'm your biggest op. I cannot stand you. I'm so glad that your fantasy about a tall woman, especially a slender one who looks like a model, being attracted to you is probably never going to be reality. And it's true. No tall, slender woman is ever going to desire you the way she desires a guy whose physique is similar to hers. She will never desire you that way. And it makes me smile. That makes me happy because some of you act like straight up psychopaths towards tall women unprovoked. Because either little angry men want our height or they want sexual access to us. It's always one or the other. They come after us specifically for those two reasons. I mean, sometimes they come running up. They literally run over to me just to hurl insults at me. You're not tall. You're never going to be tall. Your kids probably aren't going to be tall. No tall woman is ever going to chase you or beg you for your attention the way you so desperately wish. It's not happening. It's never going to happen. It's never happening. And that makes me happy knowing that that's never going to be reality for the majority of you. So that's how little angry men pick fights with tall women. They act like straight up psychopaths towards us. Either they want our height or they want sexual access to us. They're not getting either, so they like to pick fights with us. We often get labeled as a bully because they're smaller than us. They're insufferable. They're Napoleons. They're little angry men. I cannot stand them. I hate being on the same planet as them. I'm not the only tall woman that has had these experiences with them. Other tall women have experienced the exact same thing. It's not just me. They have this unhealthy, delusional interest in us, and it's like jealousy mixed with fascination. They resent us while refusing to stay away from us. I cannot stand men with Napoleon complex. I cannot stand you. Get off my planet. Anyways, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Bye.